This is Andy Nathan coming to you here. I'm on the north side right now in probably Logan Square, I think, Lakeview, something like that. Just thinking about all the things that happen when you're doing real estate. And, I know it gets so overwhelming. I mean, if everyone's ever overwhelmed with real estate, I get it. It's a lot. I remember in my 20s, I was doing real estate, hit a patch during the Great Recession, and actually left the industry for a few years because it was just too much. So I want to take a few minutes just to talk about real estate motivation, how we can be motivated, what we can do, how we can make sure that we get through those challenging times and we have the ability and the tools to make it. Because I think that's one of the biggest challenges that a lot of people face. It's like, a lot of times you get your first deal and you want to get your first deal and you're like, I need a deal. And then you finally get your first deal and you're like, oh my God, what did I do? I can't believe, what did I get myself into? And that's really what we're going to talk about today. So what I want to address is three things. First, how to get that first deal, how to have that mindset. Two, what to do when you get that deal and you're like, you face that stuff, then you're like, oh my God, what did I get myself into? And three, how do we keep going through everything? So let's talk about the first thing. When you're getting started, and I don't know where you're at in life, and there's a lot of people who are going to be listening to this and they're in various stages of their life. If you're trying to just get started out and you're like, how do I do this? How do I break through? And you're ready to go. Don't just go for the easy deal. I know that's going to be the thing that probably makes sense. Don't just go for that easy deal that you think, hey, I need the money. I need to get this done. I need a win. I need something. And part of it is that you're feeling that I need phase. And that happens to all of us, that I need to have a win. I need to have some successes going on. But the reality is that if you're feeling that I need phase, is that you need to step back and think about, how can the other side win? And that's really what'll probably get you your first win. Stop thinking about what you need and think about what other people need so you could help better them in their life. And it really does make such a shift when you think about all the things you could do to help other people. So, for example, when I was first getting started out, I was a mortgage broker. And I always remember this. One of my first clients as a mortgage broker was someone, they had $30,000 to $40,000 in credit card debt. And I showed them how by refinancing their debt, they could save $500 a month on everything because they had so much debt. And I didn't understand at that point, like, how could someone accumulate debt like that? That's crazy. And the reality is, life happens. Life happens and you sometimes don't even realize what's going on. And I worked with them, and by the way, hi, I see people saying hi. This is about real estate motivation, people coming in. Thank you for joining us. One of the things that was happening was that they had some college debt, they got into some credit cards, they started having fun, and I found a way to help save them $500 a month. And that was one of my first mortgage deals that I closed. And I saved them from having to go into bankruptcy. Now, I followed up with a guy about 5 years later, and he eventually did have some more financial difficulties. He lost his job, so it wasn't 100% win. But at the time, I felt so good because I actually remember them crying at the closing table because they were just like, hey, we're out of debt. We don't have as much credit card debt. Those 20% interest rates were just killing them. And credit cards, they're like, hey, 0% interest rate, and then it jumps up to 27%. And you're like, what the heck? That's crazy. So one of the things that we did was we helped them reduce that. So that's the first thing. If you're looking for motivation, the first thing you're looking to do is you want to make sure that you have the ability to help others. Second thing is you get into everything, and at that point, what you're looking to do, this gets all bouncy. Second thing you're looking to do is once you get started, you're like, oh my God, what did I do? What did I get myself into? And there were projects, and my partner mentioned this to me yesterday, because we're doing a rehab right now of a property, and we had to put it down to the studs. He's like, the first time I did this, I was so freaked out. Now I look at this, I said, it's all going to be okay. We'll put back the plumbing, we'll put back the electrical, we'll put back the HVAC, we'll put in the insulation, and then we'll be done. And it's all good. And that's the cool thing, is that it's all good. You just have to know what's going on. But that first time you get into it, it just freaks you out. and you have all this issues going on, and having someone to walk through that with you is so helpful. Because one of the things he said to me when we first started, he's like, look, I just can't do this by myself. I don't want to do this myself. I want someone to help me go through it, because there's a lot of things there. So having someone to go through it with you is so helpful. So if you could do that, if you could find that person who you could work with, who could help you get through this, it makes a difference, because you're not the only person who's ever going to face these challenges, especially if you're doing a rehab. You're not the only person who said, oh my God, there's a $10,000 charge that we didn't know about, which, hey, we did a rehab one time, and we were doing it, and we were working on the rehab. We opened up the walls and discovered, oh, all the electrical is cloth wiring, which we didn't know that much about at the time. It was cloth wiring. We had to rewire the entire house, which we did. And once we did that, we were able to then move forward, and we sold the property, and we still made a profit. There's other projects we worked on where, we bought a row house, and I was talking about this yesterday, and there were neighbors next door, and they had mice and all these other vermin, and you couldn't control it because you can't control the other units. So how do you get out of that? What do? You have to have someone to work with you and just to plan it out. Just by doing it everything yourself, it's so stressful. So that's number 2. Third thing I want to just mention here is, so 1 is, how do you get started? The motivation. 2, what's the motivation to keep going? And the answer is, working with great people. And the third one is, how do you keep that motivation going over time? Because the reality is, you do a few deals and you're like, okay, this is a lot. I have to go back into this again. And, I think, part of it is that it sort of has to become like a game in a sense. I mean, don't get me wrong. Real estate investing is serious business. It's something you should definitely be focused on. You definitely have to do your homework. And that's one of the things that you'll notice, that it's really, really important. But making sure that you actually treat this like a game is so much fun, because how many properties can you buy? How many properties can you search? What are the best deals? Trying to figure out the best ways to put deals together and structure those deals. I love doing that stuff, and just figuring out how you could structure everything together so it's successful. That really makes such a big difference in your life. So that's pretty much it for me. I know I've been talking for a little bit, just talking about real estate motivation. If you're starting out, if you're going and you're in it right now, if you're looking to just say, hey, how do I keep going? I'd love to talk to you. I'd love to find out how to help make you tick, how to help you, how to be part of your team. I'm a realtor, I'm a contractor. Let me know. I'm an investor. Let me know how I can help. I want to know. Put me a comment. Subscribe, by the way. Oh, definitely subscribe, by the way. Please subscribe. And then also, let's maybe set up a time to talk. I want to find out how I can help you. This is Andy Nathan from Creative Smart Contractors, also a licensed realtor with Kale Realty, coming to you here, talking about real estate motivation. Hope you enjoyed this video. Have a great day, better week. I'm going to be going peace out. Talk to you soon.